All right, welcome back to Stock Tricks with Nick for this week's trading recap from June 21st to June 25th. As you can see, we had a winning week up $824, 1.97%. Really solid trading week, and especially looking back at what the market was looking like Friday afternoon, I was really surprised to have a winning week this week. So in this trading recap, we'll be going over a market outlook. We'll be breaking down some of the indexes, taking a look at the past watch lists I put out on Sunday morning and on Tuesday, and then also sharing my current portfolio and recapping some trades, the winning trades and the losing trades. So you always learn the most from your losses, so I want to learn from them. I'll share what I did wrong, and hopefully you guys can learn the same things without having to spend any money on losses. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Subscribe to the channel. I make this trading recap Saturday morning, put out a breakout watch list for the upcoming week on Sunday morning, and then do an updated watch list called the midweek movers either on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on how the week's shaking out. You can also follow me on StockTwits. That's where I post the most. That's Stock Tricks with Nick there. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and then on Twitter, Stock Trick Nick. If you're coming here for a specific stock, I'll put timestamps to everything in the comment section below. All right. I already went over the agenda. Quick disclaimer, anything that I talk about is not financial or stock advice. This is all for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before trading. Trading comes with financial risk. Quick look at the market recap. We saw a really strong rebound. S&P 500 and the Dow Jones were both under their 50-day moving averages going into the week, and they both popped over them and the 20-day moving average. We'll take a look at those charts in a second here. But I really wanted to point out IWO, this is the growth index that I follow closely, up 4.5%. So that's great to see. Last week we were pulling back, and it looks like it was just a consolidation before another breakout. So NASDAQ, QQQs also hitting all-time highs. Let's take a look at their charts. So first we have S&P 500. You can see this is Friday. We were rolling over under the 50-day moving average, closing under on high volume. That looked really, really bad. And I was only about 25% invested going into this week because of this move. So when everything ripped off the lows, I had to slowly build up positions. That's why I was only up 1.97% or 2%, while the IWO was up 4.5% this week. So I have to catch up a little bit with my exposure, but this is great to see turn around and move into all-time highs for the S&P 500. NASDAQ, that stayed strong. On Friday, here's Friday's candle, just an inside candle after Thursday's breakout after the pullback. So inside candle, sideways action Monday, and then we moved higher Tuesday through Friday. All-time highs, looking really strong. Dow Jones, this one really looked bad because it was under the 50-day moving average, this red line, on Wednesday of last week, continued Thursday, gapped down on Friday, heavy volume, and since then just turned around and we're above the 20-day moving average, this green line now, and looking strong again. Maybe we need to backfill, test the 50-day moving average, test this volume shelf, just to digest that bounce before moving higher again. And IWO, this is the Russell 2000 Growth ETF. Let's zoom out a little bit. So from February till May or so, really ugly, choppy, down action. And now we're starting to build off the lows. We had that pullback last week to the 50-day moving average, and that was just a digestion of, an 11% move up off the lows, pull back to the 50, and now we're breaking into not all-time highs, but into higher highs in this now uptrend. So great to see from the indexes. They don't tell the entire story because the only stocks that matter are the stocks that you're personally trading, but it is good to see this type of action. Quick look at the Tik Tok Trading Challenge, week 25. Really good week for the four stocks that you guys voted on. So every week, whatever I make on TikTok, I throw into a trading account, and from the breakout watch list video that I post on Sunday morning, I let you guys vote on how we're going to invest the money from Monday's open to Friday's close. And you guys voted heavily on Roku, 43% on Roku. That was up 18% from Monday's open to Friday's close, so that was great. ALGN for basically break even, not as much as of the votes. And thankfully, NGMS was the worst performer, down 10%. And that was the one that you guys chose that you didn't like. So great voting on your side. You got the Tik Tok Trading Challenge was up 6.5%, still down 30.5% for the year. I was only up 2%. I'm up 6.25% on the year. So if this TikTok account beats my own on a weekly compounding basis, by the end of the year, I'll be giving it all away. All you have to do is comment on that initial TikTok Trading Challenge video that I'll link above. Just comment your TikTok or Twitter handle on there for a chance to win. We'll be going over a couple of those charts later on, but take a look at Sunday's breakout watch list. Great watch list we put together. 88% win rate. Had 16 stocks for you. 14 were winners, 2 were losers. We just covered NGMS. That was the biggest loser, down 9.7% from last Friday's close. But we had 4 stocks above 10%. Pay up almost 20%. FUBO 17. I traded that personally. ROKU up 17, and SSTK I traded that up almost 11%. So average gain loss for the watch list was 5.8%. That outperformed S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, and the Russell 2000 growth stock. So great watch list. I put those out every Sunday morning. So tomorrow morning I'll put another one out for you guys. But let's take a look at some of these stocks: Pay, ROKU, and NGMS. We want to show the winners, but we also want to see, okay, this was a losing stock. Was the setup a quality setup? Where would we have been stopped out? All that good stuff. So let's go to Pay first, PAY. This was an IPO that got just a very tight resistance area at 30.50 right through here. Had 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and even going back to the initial IPO day, 30.46 high. So you saw sellers right at that area. So when we broke out of that area and kind of proved that the sellers were almost done, even on this day, it squatted back under that area. But on Tuesday, we broke through heavy volume. You can see volume picking up through this extension. And this candle we saw on Friday kind of tells me we need to digest this move, kind of trade down sideways, allow the 8-day exponential moving average to come up. But when you get an IPO that has this tight of a range with a shakeout on June 16th and then tightened up again, this was a quality setup and definitely one that you could have made some money on. A 29% extension from that buy point that we covered, PAY. Next we have ROKU. This is another one that, this kind of looks like the IWO index, because we pulled back to the 200-day moving average, bounced, tightened up, looked like we were breaking out, false breakout, reversed, shook everyone out, and then once we shook everyone out off the lows, we just ripped higher here. The entry point that we talked about on the breakout watch list was just a break over the high from the 14th. We got that basically right away on Monday, breaking over the highs, and 3 really strong days. And then Thursday and Friday, we digested that move. Nothing wrong with that, just some sideways action. Allow the 8-day exponential moving average to catch up, but this is one that I want to keep an eye on, ROKU. And the losing trade from the breakout watch list, and unfortunately one that I traded myself. I was already in the stock from earlier, but zooming out, this is a really good chart that just broke to the wrong side. 188% from March. If we do the 2-month high tide flag, that still qualifies because the pullback from the high to the low was, well, high to low here is only 11%. So very tight, high tide flag. I got in when we broke over this candle's high, so right through here. I actually sold 1/3 of the position, up 5% really quick here. I kept my stop under the low from this day, so you could have moved it higher to protect against this reversal, but I wanted to give it enough room to wiggle around in case it just needed to squat, check back like PAY did before breaking out again. Unfortunately, the next day, this reversed lower, took out my stop. I got stopped out 5% or 6% on the remaining 2/3, but because I took some into profit, that was only a 2.8% loss for me, although it was down 10% on the day or on the week. And pretty big volume coming. This needs to kind of flag out here, reset, and we'll take a look at it maybe in a couple weeks if it resets, but it's not ready right now. That was Sunday's watch list, breakout watch list. Put that out every Sunday morning. Take a look tomorrow. So if you're enjoying this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, put the notification bell on so when that video comes out, you'll be set, watch it, have your notes for the upcoming week. Midweek movers watch list, I did this on Tuesday. We had 9 winners, 3 losses, 75% win rate. Average gain loss was 4.2%. The real star of the show was VTNR, up 27%. ATNF, this is one that I traded personally along with Snapchat. Actually, I traded ATNF, Snap, and Ozone. Did not take VTNR, unfortunately, myself, but did alert you guys to it. And you can see average gain 4.2%. That outperforms all the indexes. So another really quality watch list that we put out on Tuesday night. Let's take a look at ATNF. Just a nice cup handle here, and the handle was on very, very little volume. You can't even see the volume because we have these really tall volume days on when the stock extends, and that's a great thing to see because that means people are getting in, and then when the stock's pulling back, no one's trying to get out of the name. So we build this cup, we build this handle, and then let me move the left part of the cup so you could actually see the volume. Look at how quiet the volume got during this handle. No one was disagreeing on the price, very little movement. We pulled back here, and then I actually took the trade when we took out the previous day's high on Tuesday, that would have been. Sold some into strength when we broke out on Thursday. Really good move on Thursday. Let's see what that was over the previous day's high. Over 12% over the previous day's high. You take some profit into that, especially in the choppy market that we have been. Until the market really allows for breakouts to hold, I'm going to be taking a third profit, 5%, third profit, 10%, and then kind of trying to roll the last third for a bigger move. But that squatted just like PAY. Kept my stop where it was because I already took some profit on the name. And then on Friday, we had an inside day on good volume and closed up 4.6%. So this is one where if we can kind of move higher through here, check back, then we can maybe look at adding to the trade if we break over both of these highs at 1175, 1174. So if we just rip through this come next week, I'm not going to be adding any more to the trade. But if we can tighten up right under this area, then a possible add spot would be breaking over 1174. So that was the midweek movers watch list. Let's take a look at my current holdings. Because I'm taking these partial positions because I got shaken out last week, market looked like it was rolling over. I have 19 open positions, which is too many. I do need to get stopped out or take profit from some and then reallocate that just to ideally 10 names would be my preference. But you can see I have, what this says down here is I have 7 more positions that make up 17%. So really small positions there. My largest position is an SUP that we'll be taking a look at in a second here. OZON, 9%, FRHC we'll take a look at. I'm at 6% of my position of my portfolio there. And then we'll take a look at that SNAP trade that we had on the midweek movers. But right now, 19 open positions, 86% net long, 7 positions between 5 and 10, 7 positions between 3 and 5%. So again, a lot of smaller positions. Let's see if we can kind of consolidate that going into next week. All right, let's take a look at the charts. So 10%, largest holding, SUP. Why, Nick? Why are we holding 10% in SUP right now? So let's do some measuring. We have 107% move up, pullback of 14%, so high tight flag. That's 90% or more from the low point to the high in 8 weeks or less, and then a pullback within 25% of that high point. So a really strong move higher, and then the stock's proving not many people are trying to get out. We're just digesting this move, allowing some moving averages to catch up before a possible move higher. So with this is, I love playing these high tight flags when the 20-day moving average is coming to set support. So look at the volume on the way out, really heavy volume, no volume, like very little volume as it flags lower. have the 20-day moving average coming. I actually took this trade, when did I take it? On Wednesday, on this green day, when we broke over the previous day's high. I tried to get in a little bit lower at 879. That was the 880 was the high from the previous day. So at a break over 880, I started my position because I wanted to get as low in here as possible so I could keep my stop loss below the lows and still have it at 6%, 5 or 6% of a stop. So as tight as I can run the stop, then the larger position size I can get on it with keeping the same amount of risk. So it looked like it was going to get going. We had good volume on Wednesday. It was up a little bit, and then we had sideways action. I was close to taking my 1/3 of profit at 5% on Thursday. Did not end up doing that. Then on Friday, look at the volume on these two pullback days. Very, very little volume. Not many people getting out. 20-day moving average coming for support. I would be looking for a break over 912 as a possible add spot. I'm not probably going to be adding any more than 10%. This is a thinly traded name, so you have to kind of protect yourself against that. But lots of power here. Definitely going to be on the breakout watch list video tomorrow. So that's SUP, my largest holding. FRHC we have next. This is one that's been on FinTwits for a while now. One of the first kind of growth names to really take off the lows, up 60% in just a little bit less than a month or so, probably around a month. And then we had this really big extension day on the 16th. Not sure what we're looking at here. And then the next day we flushed lower. So basically, if you didn't take profits here, you got frustrated and maybe got stopped out or took profits as we were like flushing lower. This shook out all the weaker hands, and then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of setting up nice and tight area where I just bought with a break over the high from this area, basically right away at the open on Thursday, and was rewarded. Good volume coming out higher, and then continuation on Friday with good volume. So up 4% from my entry point. Haven't taken any position size off because it hasn't hit 5%, but looking really good there. And then Snapchat, excuse me. This was that perfect VCP setup. If you follow Mark Minervini on Twitter, he covered it. Leif covered it. A lot of people were looking at this. 35% back, the first pullback, second pullback, 24%. And then we get this like third pullback, 6%. This might be a little bit more. Yeah, 6 and 8% through here. This actually shook me out. I got in right through here. Looked like it was getting going. Had that 1, 2, 3. Each pullback tightening up and then getting out on volume. Got stopped out, but just because I got stopped out doesn't mean I'm not going to re-enter when the setup forms up again. That's exactly what I did. Had 3 daily highs right around the same price and made that turn. Had this little volume day as we consolidated right at the moving average. Made that turn on heavy volume, bought that, sold some into strength the following day at 5%. And now we're just sitting pretty. We had 2 kind of consolidation, or Friday was a consolidation day, flat on kind of less volume, which you like to see. And this is looking really strong. Nice setup with Snapchat. And finally, let's get into those completed trades. So with the market kind of rolling over on Friday and a quick shakeout Monday morning, I did get shaken out and closed some of my profitable positions from the last 3 weeks, including iHeartRadio, 8%, $200 gain, HIMX that we'll cover, that was $177 gain, SkyT, $250 gain at 5%. So closed out some good winners in the past. Made this FUBO trade that we'll cover in detail in a second here. And then my losing trades that got closed out, GTX that we'll cover in a second. We already covered NGMS. And then I took basically a day trade on LEDS, really powerful name that ended up working out, but wasn't my system. So I got chopped up a little bit, down $17, whatever. Yeah, so let's take a look at FUBO, HIMX, and GTX and close this out. FUBO was on the breakout watch list on Sunday morning. I was hesitant to trade it because it does have this large pullback from the high 76%. Usually I don't trade stocks that pull back over 50% from the high because there's so many hidden sellers that got trapped at these higher prices. But what I took note of was the volume coming off the low here was so heavy that something changed when it came off the low here. And every breakout since then had high volume. So once we got extended from the low, I think it was up, 111% off the low here. I allowed it to flag out right through here, and then bought the turn on Monday, the 21st, as we moved out on heavier volume. And then I was looking at just taking 1/3 at 5%, 1/3 at 10%, 1/3 at 15%. And that's exactly what I did, because we are coming up to this volume shelf up here, starting at around $35, that I wanted to avoid. I don't want to like have it hit that and then shake down back down to my buy point, excuse me. And because there's so many hidden sellers up here, it's not my perfect setup. So I wanted to be kind of aggressive with taking profits and making this just a winning trade. So really not doing anything wrong right now. Had this 1, 2, 3 day consolidation, then moved again on Friday. That's when I took my final profit. But this could continue higher. I probably did take profits a little too early. If we just cut through this next range through like 37, then I'll allow it to flag out again and then look at taking another trade in the future. But really clean, nice and easy trade. You like when that happens. Next we have HIMX. This is one that I had on some previous breakout watch lists. We bought with the break over that area right through here. We came off the lows, pulled back to the 8-day, and then moved. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4 inside days in a row right through this area. Got out on heavy volume on Monday, sold most into strength there. And then this reversed lower. I gave it enough room to kind of flag out here. Unfortunately, that was a bear flag because that moved down, hit my stop, stopped me out on the rest. And then since then, semiconductors have been getting a little bit more money lately. So I did get in some other trades that are in that industry. But for now, HIMX still needs some work to tighten up for me. Good trade. Wish we didn't have that reversal last week, but I mean, you can wish whatever you want. The market's going to give you what it's going to give you. Finally, we have GTX. This was one that I was all over on Friday. We had a move up. Let's see, what was it off the low here? 97% up, pull back 14%. So you could call it a high tide flag. There's a little bit more supply up top, so some people wouldn't. Either way, lots of power going out, lots of volume coming out. Pulled back to that 20-day moving average. Had this really nice flush earlier on in the setup. So I thought, okay, now everyone's kind of out of it. We tightened up. I was buying with a break over the high from the previous day, 821. That bought basically right at the open on Friday. It got out 3.6%, looked great, and then reversed lower, took out my stop. I had a 2% stop on this, and because it was only a 2% stop, I took it with a pretty large position size. Unfortunately, didn't get out enough for me to take any profit. Reverse lower, full stop at 2% under the lows in this 3-day pivot. And now it just needs to set up again. After 1, 2 fake breakouts, I'm more cautious with the setup. Unless it sets up basically perfectly, I probably won't take it again. But for the risk reward, 2% stop on a high tide flag, I'll take that trade over and over again, and eventually the stats are going to work out. So that's the trading recap for the week. Up 824%, up $824, 2%. Great breakout watch list, great midweek movers watch list that we put together. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. New breakout watch list coming tomorrow morning. Follow me on StockTwits. That's where I post the most. Stock Tricks with Nick there. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that good stuff. And then Stock Trick Nick on Twitter. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.